Hey, what up? It's Brad with Home Love Construction, and today I want to answer a question and do some dispelling of what I would call myths. And the question I want to answer is it better to use subcontractors or in-house employees when you're doing remodeling or construction work? And the answer, like many of our other videos that we've shot, is it depends. I think we can do like a chorus sing Apollo. We can do like, it depends. Everybody say it all at once. But really it depends on what the scope of the project is, how big of a project it is, and what type of management style the company doing the construction is. So I'll kind of use an example to illustrate this. And I'm not gonna pick on him, actually. I'm gonna say some really good things about him. But my good friend Reagan Weiss at Templar Contracting, him and Joey Deeb, they run a contracting business very similar to ours. Basically, they do the same thing. And they do amazing work, by the way. You should definitely check them out. If you check out the hashtag Templar Now, so hashtag Templar Now, you can see all their work on Facebook. They're awesome. Trust me, they are literally competitors of ours. If I didn't believe in them and wasn't good friends with them, I wouldn't give them this airtime. But what they do is they run a completely subcontractor-based operation. So I think they have maybe 2 or 3 in-house employees other than themselves. They take care of some of the demo themselves, but that's basically it. All the putback, all the, obviously the plumbing, HVAC, roofing, but also the framing, drywall, tile, trim, cabinetry, all that stuff is all supplied and installed by subcontractors. So what are the pros and cons there? Well, one huge pro from a customer standpoint is that that their subcontractors are on the hook for getting the job done and getting it done to their standards before they get their money in probably 99% of the cases. There are going to be some larger projects where a subcontractor will require a draw or a progress payment. But typically the contractor is going to be doing a checkup with their project manager before they're issuing that check. Before they write the check, they want to make sure that their quality of work is being upheld and their standard is being met. So that's one huge benefit, is that your monetary investment is being protected. Now, on the flip side of that, for someone who, and Templar would never do this, so I don't mean to associate them with this, but one thing that I've seen some other construction companies do is that if they fail to pay their subcontractors, that subcontractor could then put a lien on your home. With the W-2 employee situation, you don't really have that autonomy. An employee can't lien you if they don't get written, their paycheck from their employer. Now, on the flip side, a benefit to using employee crews is that the scheduling and delivery can be faster in a lot of cases. It can be very challenging to sync a subcontractor schedule, and what you wind up getting is you get kind of gaps in to where it's like, well, they came and knocked out the demo really quick, but then it took another week for the plumber to get here. Well, that's a matter of the plumber is running his own business and he has to fit in your contractor as a customer just like all his other customers. So that can be a bit of an issue if, for example, say in a bigger company that has a plumbing license, so they have an in-house plumber who does all their plumbing and licenses their employees. If they can have their demolition crew come in and then their pro plumber come in and just knock out the plumbing the next day, you can get along with your project much more quickly, which for some people, the time is everything. It's like, how long is this gonna take? And that's what I'm gonna base my decision on. And we've run into that sometimes where if we can't start soon enough, the customer goes with somebody else who can start sooner. And that's just, it is what it is, it's customer preference. But that said, the ability to control the timeline to a large extent is a huge benefit of using a contracting company that uses in-house employees. The second large benefit of using a contracting company with in-house employees is that there tends to be more supervision and there tends to be more ownership up and down the chain of command in regards to performing your job, doing it on time, doing it well, and upholding the standards of the company that you're working for. So there's more of a sense of ownership all the way down to the lowest level. With a subcontractor, it can be more transactional and they can take less ownership of what they're doing on your job because they're running a business at the end of the day, and they might be like a sole proprietor or a 1 or 2 or 3 man shop, and really they're not only dealing with the stresses of getting your job done, but also of running a business on the end of it too. So there's some cons there. So ultimately we get a lot of people who feel that if you're using subcontractors to do a job, they're being skimped or shorted or taking advantage of somehow. And I wanna really discourage you from feeling that way. And if you are feeling that way and you disagree with me and you're like, well, Brad, that's just how I feel, I'd ask you this. Would you be comfortable scheduling subcontractors, making sure they're adhering to the scope of work that you need done for your project and bidding it correctly? Are you comfortable examining their bids and making sure they're bidding everything in that they need to? 2, are you comfortable scheduling them and putting them on a timeline and holding them to that timeline? Do you have the relationship to where you can even do that and get the pricing that you need to get the job done at a contractor price? 3, are you comfortable if they don't show up on the day they're going to show up, calling them and saying, hey, where are you, bro? And having a relationship where they're actually going to pick up the phone and care. 4, are you comfortable inspecting their work before you call in the county inspection? Because if you fail an inspection, then you start racking up red tag fees, basically. And 5, in the event that you have a service, are you comfortable calling them on their warranty and asking them to come back and service your project? If you're not comfortable doing all 5 of those things, I would highly recommend you use a general contractor to do your project. That is our job as general contractors, is to manage employees and subcontractors in a professional way, make sure that you don't get taken advantage of the homeowner. As you know, as a homeowner, yes, it's your project, but it's our job to make sure that we fully understand the project, take into consideration all the scope, give you a set price that it'll take to do that project, and barring any changes in the scope, and I want to say that again, barring any changes in the scope, so actually doing more or less work that's out of our control, the price should stay the same from the beginning to the end. Now, does that always happen? Absolutely not, because sometimes the scope changes. Sometimes you dig into a remodel where you're adding an addition and there's termite damage and you have to repair all the termite damage. There's really no way to bid for that. So that said, the general contractor provides the value, or in theory should provide the value, of protecting the homeowner. And I want to give props to the guys at Templar one more time, just for their branding aspect. The way that they brand themselves is that they're the shield between the homeowner and the contracting world, which is a very nice way to put it, and I agree with that messaging 100%. So keep in mind that that's the job of a general contractor. If you value having peace of mind, then you should hire a general contractor. If you want to go as low a budget as possible, which is fine, I don't mean to demonize that, but if that's your goal, don't use a general contractor. Be the contractor yourself, pull the homeowner permit, and do it on your own. But that's really the value proposition of a general contractor, is we manage and organize subcontractors and other labor to get your job done, generally without you having to lift a finger. Ideally, you should just be able to walk the job at the end of the day, and you should be like, well, looks good. Okay, what are we doing tomorrow? And you just are doing that via text with your project manager or point of contact, however your contractor actually runs the job. So to answer the question that you're probably wondering, what do we do at Home Love Construction? Well, we actually do a mix. We have a mix of in-house crews, so labor, which is actual W-2 employees who are very highly skilled craftsmen, and they are the best at what we do. Apollo, let's definitely throw some video in here of our guys doing the thing, framing or doing block or whatever. But we also use a mix of subcontractors as well. And so we have our plumbers and our drywall guys and our block masons, and even a framing crew who we can plus up with in the event that we need that. So we like to blend the two models to try to get the best of both worlds, and we found very good success with that. Other people use no subs, and they've found great success with that. My good friend Jason Avery at Avery Construction does that. He uses as few subs as possible, whereas on the other side, somebody like a Templar Contracting uses actually pretty much all subcontractors, and they find great success doing that. So there is not necessarily a correct answer as far as which one is better than the other. There's pros and cons on either side. Hope that gave you a good idea of what you should be looking for if you know you're going into one or the other. The important thing, know what you're getting yourselves into and know the pitfalls so that you don't fall into them. If you have more questions about employees versus subcontractors or licensing or anything like that, anything remodeling related, please send it to us. homeloveconstruction@gmail.com is our main email, our inbox for that type of things. We'll answer your questions in future videos. Look forward to seeing you very soon. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Since you got to the end, I'm guessing you liked the video. That's because we don't just whip out an iPhone and start filming. We work extremely hard to get the narrative flow just right. In fact, a lot of local businesses have started hiring Home Love Media to make videos for them. One of our recent client videos just eclipsed 10,000 views on Facebook, and there were no cats, memes, or dancing men anywhere to be found. So if you want to find out how we can work with you to make a client video for your business, email us at homelovemedia@gmail.com.